Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit has been feeling watched lately. There is a reason certain people cannot fully walk away from your energy, no matter how hard they try. God has been revealing hidden truths in this season, and one of those truths is about the mysterious person represented by the letter J. While you have been focused on healing, growing, praying, and rebuilding yourself in silence, J has been studying you from a distance. They may not speak to you openly. They may pretend they no longer care. But spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, they keep returning to your presence because something about your transformation has awakened fear, curiosity, regret, and conviction inside of them. Chosen one, God is exposing the secret reason J keeps watching you, and it is deeper than jealousy alone. It is deeper than obsession. What they are witnessing is something they cannot explain with logic. They are watching the evidence of divine favor operating in your life. They are watching someone they underestimated continue to rise after every attempt to break them. They thought pain would silence you. They thought rejection would destroy your confidence. They thought loneliness would weaken your spirit. But instead of collapsing, you evolved. Instead of giving up, you became spiritually stronger. Instead of losing yourself, you found your purpose, and that has unsettled J more than you realize. The reason they keep watching is because your life has become a living reminder of what happens when God places His hand upon someone. Every time they see you moving forward, every time they hear about your growth, every time your name appears somewhere unexpectedly, it shakes something inside them. They cannot understand why your light continues to expand, even after everything you survived. They expected scars to make you bitter, but God used those scars to make you wiser. They expected betrayal to close your heart, but instead it sharpened your discernment. They expected failure to embarrass you permanently, but God turned your failures into preparation for elevation. Chosen one, J keeps watching because your comeback was never supposed to happen, according to human logic. They remember the version of you that cried in silence. They remember the moments when you doubted yourself. They remember when you were exhausted, emotionally drained, spiritually attacked, and struggling to keep your faith alive. They thought those moments defined your future, but God was allowing you to go through hidden preparation. While people assumed you were losing, heaven was rebuilding you privately. While others celebrated too early, God was strengthening your foundation where nobody could see it. And now J watches because they are confused by your peace. They expected you to remain angry. They expected you to spend your life trying to prove yourself. Instead, you became calmer. You became more focused. Your energy shifted. Your spirit matured. The desperation left your soul, and that change is impossible for them to ignore. Chosen one, people become uncomfortable when they can no longer control your emotions. J once believed they understood how you would react, how you would respond, how you would chase, beg, or break. But God healed something inside you, and now your silence carries power. The secret reason they keep watching is because your transformation exposed their own spiritual emptiness. Every time they observe your growth, they are forced to confront what they avoided within themselves. Your discipline reminds them of their inconsistency. Your peace reminds them of their chaos. Your faith reminds them of how disconnected they have become spiritually, and instead of fully changing themselves, they keep watching you because your life has become a mirror reflecting truths they do not want to face. Chosen one, there are people who secretly study those they once dismissed. J never expected you to become this spiritually aware. They never expected your intuition to sharpen this deeply. In the past, they may have manipulated situations around you, because you were still discovering your worth. But now your discernment has matured. God removed the blindness from your eyes. You notice energy differently now. You recognize hidden motives faster. You no longer confuse temporary attention for genuine love. That spiritual awakening changed the entire dynamic, and Jay can feel it even if no words are spoken. That is why they observe quietly. They want to understand what changed inside you. They want to understand why your energy feels different. They want to understand why your presence still affects them even when you are distant. Chosen one, when God upgrades your spirit, people who once had access to the old version of you become shocked by the new version they cannot control anymore. And the truth is, Jay thought time would erase you from their mind. They thought eventually they would stop thinking about you, stop checking on you, stop wondering about your life. But the opposite happened. The more you healed, the more unforgettable you became. Your growth made your presence stronger. Your separation made your value clearer. Sometimes distance reveals what familiarity hid. Jay did not fully recognize your worth while they had access to you, but losing access forced them to see you differently. Chosen one, another reason they keep watching is because God elevated you in the very areas where they expected you to fail. They thought heartbreak would stop your progress, but you became more productive. They thought isolation would weaken you, but it deepened your spiritual connection. They thought criticism would destroy your confidence, but it taught you self-respect. Every prediction they made about your downfall failed, because God had another plan over your life. Now they watch, because your resilience has become intimidating. They cannot understand how someone could survive so much emotionally and still carry light within them. But what they fail to understand is that your strength was never coming from human approval. God was sustaining you the entire time. In moments when nobody checked on you, God strengthened your spirit. In nights when tears filled your eyes, God was shaping your endurance. In seasons when doors closed against you, God was redirecting your path toward something greater. Jay keeps watching because part of them expected you to return to them broken, desperate, and emotionally dependent. Instead, they see someone becoming more complete without their validation. That realization is difficult for them to accept. Some people are comfortable when they believe you need them emotionally. But when God teaches you how to stand independently, it disrupts unhealthy attachments. Jay can feel that shift deeply. Chosen one, God revealed that part of their watching is driven by regret. There were moments they mishandled you, moments they ignored your loyalty, moments they failed to recognize the purity of your intentions. At the time, they believed they would always have access to your energy. They assumed you would remain available, no matter how poorly they treated you. But they underestimated the moment God would awaken your self-worth. And once that awakening happened, your boundaries became stronger. Your spirit stopped settling for confusion. Your energy stopped chasing temporary validation. You started valuing peace more than attention. That change forced Jay to realize they can no longer reach you the same way emotionally. So instead of participating in your life directly, they observe from a distance. The secret reason they keep watching is because your destiny is becoming visible now. Chosen one, there is a glow that appears on people who have survived spiritual warfare and still remained faithful. There is a confidence that forms in people who stopped depending on external approval and started trusting God internally. Jay can sense that your life is shifting towards something greater, even if they cannot fully explain it. Your voice carries more authority now. Your intuition feels stronger now. Your presence commands more respect now. And people who once overlooked you suddenly pay attention because heaven has started highlighting your purpose publicly. What was hidden is becoming visible. What was delayed is beginning to move forward. And Jay watches because they know they are witnessing someone entering a new chapter. Chosen one, never underestimate how powerful spiritual growth looks to people who remain spiritually stagnant. Your healing irritates demons hiding inside others. Your peace convicts people who carry inner turmoil. Your discipline exposes people trapped in cycles of self-destruction. Jay may not consciously understand why they feel pulled toward watching you, but spiritually they are reacting to the light God placed within you. There is also another hidden reason they keep watching. Part of them still hopes for access, even if pride prevents them from admitting it. They are trying to understand whether the door to your life is permanently closed. They study your energy. They analyze your words. They search for signs of emotional weakness. But what they continue discovering is that you are no longer the same person they once knew. Chosen one, healing changes your frequency. When you finally learn your worth, your energy becomes harder to manipulate. When you finally surrender your pain to God, your spirit becomes lighter. When you stop begging for acceptance, you naturally become more attractive spiritually and emotionally. Jay notices this transformation, and it unsettles them because they benefited from the version of you that lacked boundaries. But God was never going to leave you trapped in that condition forever. He allowed pain to educate your spirit. He allowed betrayal to sharpen your discernment. He allowed separation to reveal hidden truths. And now the same people who overlooked your value are forced to witness your evolution from afar. Jay keeps watching because your life has become evidence that God can restore a person completely. They remember your broken moments, so seeing your strength now feels almost unbelievable to them. They remember your confusion, so watching your clarity now feels shocking. They remember when you tolerated disrespect, so seeing your boundaries now feels unfamiliar. Chosen one, there is power in becoming unrecognizable to people who underestimated you, not because of revenge, not because of ego, but because transformation glorifies God. Your growth is proof that darkness cannot permanently destroy someone chosen for divine purpose. Your survival is proof that spiritual attacks cannot cancel heaven's assignment over your life. And what bothers Jay the most is realizing that the very pain meant to destroy you became the fuel that awakened you. Every betrayal pushed you closer to discernment. Every rejection pushed you closer to purpose. Every lonely season pushed you closer to God. The enemy thought isolation would make you weak, but isolation became the environment where your spiritual gifts became stronger. Now people watch because your energy carries mystery. They can sense there is something different about you, something deeper than appearance, status, or material success. Your spirit carries endurance. Your eyes carry wisdom. Your presence carries calm authority. And Jay cannot stop watching because your evolution reminds them that they misjudged you completely. They once saw you as emotionally fragile, but now they see spiritual strength. They once saw you as easy to replace, but now they realize your energy was rare. They once believed you would remain stuck in cycles of pain, but now they are witnessing momentum building in your life. And every time they look at you, they are reminded that God had plans for you far beyond what anyone expected. Chosen one, what Jay still does not understand is that God allowed every closed door in your life for a divine reason. Nothing that happened to you was accidental. The delays were not punishment. The betrayals were not proof of your weakness. The isolation was not abandonment. Heaven was separating you from environments and people that could no longer travel into your next season. But because Jay only looked at your circumstances with human eyes, they mistook your process for failure. They thought silence meant defeat. They thought waiting meant rejection. They thought your struggle was permanent. Yet all along, God was preparing a spiritual elevation that could only be built through endurance. And now they watch because your endurance became undeniable. Chosen one, there is something deeply unsettling about watching someone survive what should have destroyed them. Most people expect pain to permanently change a person for the worse. They expect trauma to harden hearts. They expect disappointment to create bitterness. But your spirit moved differently. Yes, you cried. Yes, you questioned things. Yes. There were moments when exhaustion nearly consumed you. But God kept reviving your strength in private. Every time life tried to bury you emotionally, heaven breathed life back into your soul. Jay cannot understand how your faith survived everything you experienced. That is the secret reason their attention keeps returning toward you. They are trying to figure out what sustains you. They are trying to understand why your spirit did not collapse under pressure. They are trying to understand how someone who faced rejection, betrayal, misunderstanding, and spiritual warfare could still walk with peace. Chosen one, what they are witnessing is not human strength alone. They are witnessing divine covering. God protected your mind in seasons that should have broken your sanity. God protected your heart in moments where betrayal cut deeply. God protected your destiny when hidden enemies plotted against your future. There were spiritual battles happening around you that you never fully saw with your natural eyes. There were attacks designed to drain your confidence, delay your purpose, and disconnect you from your calling. But every attack failed because God refused to release his hand from your life. And Jay keeps watching because deep down they know something beyond logic is happening around you. Chosen one, there are people who become addicted to observing what they can no longer possess. They become emotionally trapped by the energy they once took for granted. Jay may try to distract themselves with other people, other conversations, other situations, but somehow their attention always circles back to you. Why? Because your spirit left an imprint they cannot erase. Real energy cannot be replaced with imitation. Genuine souls cannot be forgotten easily. And when someone realizes too late that they encountered a rare person, they often become silent watchers. But God revealed something important. Their watching is not only emotional, it is spiritual curiosity. They are trying to understand how your light became stronger after darkness surrounded you. Most people dim after painful seasons. Most people lose trust. Most people close themselves emotionally. Yet your spirit became wiser without becoming cold. That confuses them. Chosen one, there is power in surviving pain without losing your humanity. That is rare. Anyone can become hardened after disappointment. Anyone can become cruel after betrayal. But maintaining compassion while developing boundaries requires spiritual maturity. God shaped that maturity inside you through hidden lessons nobody else fully understood. Jay did not see the nights you spent rebuilding yourself mentally. They did not see the prayers whispered when nobody was around. They did not see the battles happening inside your mind while you struggled to remain hopeful. They only see the outcome now. They only see the confidence, the calmness, the emotional control, the spiritual awareness. But they missed the painful process that created it. That is why your transformation looks mysterious to them. Chosen one, God is also revealing that part of Jay's watching comes from comparison. Whether they admit it or not, they compare their current life to yours. They compare their emotional condition to your peace. They compare their confusion to your clarity. And what unsettles them is realizing that, while they remained spiritually stagnant, you continued evolving. There is nothing more uncomfortable than watching someone outgrow the version of themselves you were attached to. Jay became familiar with the wounded version of you. They became comfortable around the uncertain version of you. But now your energy has shifted so drastically that they no longer know how to approach you emotionally. The power dynamic changed. Chosen one. You no longer seek permission to value yourself. You no longer beg people to recognize your worth. You no longer chase validation from those who failed to appreciate your spirit. God healed the insecurity that once made you overextend yourself emotionally. And because of that healing, your presence now carries quiet authority. Jay notices this immediately. They notice how you no longer explain yourself excessively. They notice how your energy feels more grounded. They notice how you protect your peace now. They notice how your spirit feels less emotionally available to chaos. Even if you say very little, your transformation speaks loudly. Chosen one. Another reason Jay keeps watching you is because they sense opportunities opening around your life. God is shifting your environment slowly. New doors are appearing, new connections are forming, new favor is developing behind the scenes, and people who once doubted you can feel that momentum even before visible success fully arrives. Some people only pay attention when they sense elevation approaching. Jay may not have fully respected your process while you were struggling, but now they are beginning to recognize that your future carries weight. Suddenly your wisdom matters. Suddenly your energy feels valuable. Suddenly your absence feels noticeable. Chosen one. People often fail to appreciate what God placed inside you until distance forces them to experience life without your presence. And now they are haunted by realization that they mishandled someone loyal, realization that they underestimated someone chosen, realization that they ignored someone carrying divine purpose. That realization becomes heavier every time they see you progressing. Chosen one. God wants you to understand something clearly. Do not become distracted by who is watching. Continue focusing on where God is leading you. Some people watch because they admire you. Some watch because they envy you. Some watch because they regret losing access to you. And some watch because your life convicts them spiritually. But regardless of their reasons, your assignment remains the same. Keep evolving. Do not shrink yourself to make observers comfortable. Do not dim your light because your growth unsettles others. Do not return to old emotional patterns just because someone from your past suddenly notices your value now. God did not heal you so you could reopen doors connected to confusion and emotional instability. He healed you so you could walk forward with discernment. Chosen one. The secret reason Jay keeps watching is because your spirit now carries evidence of divine selection. There is a glow on people who survived what should have spiritually destroyed them. There is authority in the voice of someone who fought silent battles and still remained faithful. Jay can sense that authority on you now. Even your silence affects people differently. In the past, they may have ignored your words easily. But now your distance creates emotional impact. Why? Because energy changes when self-worth grows. When someone finally realizes their value, their absence becomes louder than their presence once was. Chosen one. There are people secretly hoping you will regress emotionally because your growth forces them to confront uncomfortable truths. Your healing exposes where they refuse to heal. Your discipline exposes where they remained inconsistent. Your faith exposes where they abandoned spiritual alignment. And instead of transforming themselves fully, they keep watching you because your evolution fascinates them. God revealed that Jay often thinks about conversations they once dismissed. They replay moments differently now. Statements you made that they ignored suddenly make sense. Warnings you gave now feel accurate. Loyalty they overlooked now feels irreplaceable. Time has a way of revealing truth to people who once operated from ego, and now they carry silent regret. Chosen one, regret is powerful because it arrives after clarity. People often do not recognize value, while pride blinds them emotionally. But eventually reality removes illusions. Eventually silence creates reflection. Eventually distance reveals importance. And once that awareness arrives, some people become trapped watching the very person they failed to appreciate correctly. But God says, do not confuse their attention with spiritual alignment. Just because someone watches you does not mean they deserve renewed access to your life. Just because someone regrets losing you does not mean they are prepared to honor you properly. Discernment matters deeply in this season. Chosen one, your spirit has become too valuable to place back into environments that dishonor your peace. God brought you too far emotionally to reconnect with confusion carelessly. Some people are assigned to witness your elevation from a distance because they mishandled access when they had it directly. Jay is watching because they sense the door closing spiritually. Not out of hatred, not out of revenge, but because your path is changing. You are entering a season where emotional maturity matters more than emotional attachment. You are entering a season where spiritual peace matters more than temporary excitement. You are entering a season where your purpose requires stronger discernment about who deserves proximity to your energy. And people can feel when they are losing energetic access to someone chosen by God. Chosen one. Your transformation became undeniable the moment you stopped chasing what was running from you. That shift changed everything spiritually. Desperation left your energy. Anxiety loosened its grip. Fear stopped controlling your decisions. And suddenly your spirit became magnetic in a completely different way. Jay notices that magnetism now. They notice how you no longer seek constant validation. They notice how your confidence feels natural instead of forced. They notice how your emotional reactions became calmer and more controlled. That level of inner stability is rare, and people become deeply intrigued by it. Especially people who remember your older struggles. Chosen one. Another hidden reason they keep watching is because they expected your story to end differently. They assumed your pain would define your identity permanently. They assumed setbacks would limit your future. But God wrote another outcome over your life, and now your existence challenges their assumptions. Every time they see you thriving mentally, it destroys the narrative they created about you. Every time they see you smiling genuinely, it destroys the belief that your spirit would remain broken forever. Every time they see your confidence growing, it reminds them that heaven restored someone they counted out. Chosen one. Some people become obsessed with observing miracles they secretly doubted could happen. Your healing became one of those miracles. They remember the darkness surrounding you. They remember the emotional exhaustion. They remember the confusion and instability. That is why your current energy feels almost unbelievable to them now. But God specializes in restoring people publicly after rebuilding them privately. And your life is becoming evidence of that restoration. Jay keeps watching because they can sense your future unfolding before their eyes. Even if your biggest blessings have not fully manifested yet, spiritually the shift has already started. Your intuition has sharpened. Your confidence has deepened. Your emotional discipline has matured. And heaven is preparing opportunities connected to this new version of you. People can feel elevation approaching before it becomes fully visible. That is why attention suddenly increases before breakthroughs arrive. Chosen one, stay focused. Not every observer deserves explanation. Not every watcher deserves emotional access. Some people are only meant to witness what God is doing in your life without participating in it directly. And the more you continue choosing peace over chaos, purpose over distraction, healing over emotional addiction, and faith over fear, the more your light will continue exposing hidden intentions around you. Jay keeps watching because your spirit carries something they cannot recreate, replace, or fully forget. Chosen one, God is saying the final truth about why Jay keeps watching you is because your life became proof that divine favor cannot be blocked by human rejection. They witnessed moments where everything seemed to fall apart around you. They saw seasons where opportunities disappeared, relationships failed, and emotional pressure surrounded your mind. From the outside, it looked like you were losing, but heaven was never measuring your life by temporary appearances. God was measuring your endurance, your faith, your obedience, and your ability to keep moving forward while carrying invisible battles inside your soul. That is why your rise feels supernatural to them now, chosen one. Some people cannot stop watching because they are trying to understand how you escaped the version of yourself they expected to control forever. They thought your emotions would always keep you attached to unhealthy cycles. They thought your kindness would always make you easy to manipulate. They thought your loyalty would keep you accepting less than you deserved. But God awakened something powerful inside you. He taught you discernment. He taught you boundaries. He taught you that protecting your peace is not selfish. And once that lesson became rooted in your spirit, your entire energy changed. Jay notices that change every single time they think about you. They notice you no longer move from desperation. They notice you no longer tolerate confusion. They notice you no longer seek validation from people who failed to value your heart correctly. And deep down, they know they are witnessing someone who finally discovered their spiritual worth. Chosen one, never forget this truth. The same God who carried you through isolation, heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment, and spiritual warfare is still guiding your steps now. Every painful lesson shaped your wisdom. Every delay strengthened your patience. Every lonely night deepened your connection with heaven. Nothing was wasted. Even the tears you cried in silence became part of your transformation. That is why your spirit feels different now. You survived things people never fully understood. You overcame battles nobody applauded you for. You rebuilt yourself while carrying pain quietly. And because of that, your presence now carries spiritual authority. Jay keeps watching because your light reminds them of what they lost access to. Your growth reminds them of what they underestimated. Your peace reminds them that God protected you from becoming permanently broken by the things designed to destroy you. Chosen one, do not go backward emotionally just because people suddenly recognize your value. Some lessons arrive too late for certain people. Some doors close because your destiny requires separation from environments that no longer align with your calling. God did not remove confusion from your life so you could reconnect with it again. He removed it so you could finally walk forward clearly. And now your future is calling you louder than your past ever could. Keep protecting your peace. Keep trusting your discernment. Keep choosing growth over emotional attachment. Because the more you continue aligning yourself with God, the more undeniable your transformation will become. People who once overlooked you will continue watching